Hey everyone, and welcome back to Storytime. My name is Jake, and today we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/talesfromretail, where people who work in retail tell us some unusual and funny stories that they've experienced whilst on the job. Guys, I also wanted to just quickly mention that we have a Discord now. It's on screen right now, or it's the top link of the description. In this, you'll be able to talk to people that also are subscribers, and you'll also be able to submit your own stories. So if you have a story that you really want to be read, then we're actually going to be doing some user submitted stories on individual videos. So if that's something that interests you, then please do join down below. But without any further ado, let's get on to the stories. No, just because my car is parked in the back doesn't mean it's for sale. Looking back, my time at a certain family-run appliance store was pretty laid back. I played on my laptop for half of the work hours like everybody else. About 5 purchases could supply the daily quota, and the delivery truck came only once a week. I only had one quote-unquote bad day, but it wasn't story-worthy. My manager basically got a closing competitor's inventory for a bargain, and we had 2 whole Mack trucks of loosely packed supplies. A few air conditioners were destroyed by toppling off a tower of about 7 units. It was put to the fault of the ones who stacked it, breaking laws/rules. I don't know the details, but they received punishments. The job was so laid back that a certain family project, an experimental car built by every guy related to me, got parked in the warehouse to have professional work time. Our tools were way better than the ones in the wooden shed. The experimental part of it was whatever way we felt like powering it that month. It ranged from small gas motors to electric to water attempts to even rubber bands and industrial springs we found in a junkyard. Only the obvious worked so far. I didn't so much power the car as I was better at styling and interior. I put a small TV and radio in it and styled the body like a rocket. I can't give a photo, but here's a sketch of my original intention that I made. The link that he's actually provided doesn't work, so I'm going to show you guys my representation of what I think it will be. Here you go, is that good? Yeah, that's pretty good. This thing was never and will never be for sale. It's just a family tradition at this point. It's been a solid 17 years of grease and welding. Sometimes people would see it through the windows of the storage room door and ask questions, but they never assumed that it was up for purchase, given its rough appearance. A few kids even sat in it and played with the controls that usually weren't plugged into anything. However, this story wouldn't exist if this guy, DA, who we'll call Dave, didn't come in one day. He even had a wife, who I'll call GW for good wife. I'll be OP, and there's 2 co-workers/family members, C1 and C2. Huh, what the hell is that? It's a project car. How much is it? Oh, it's not for sale. But it's in the store. You have to sell it to me. That's not true. Don't argue with me. My son has been looking for a car for months, and that thing will do fine. It doesn't even have an engine in it. Then how did it get here, huh? We got a trailer. It's parked outside. His face was getting red. Sell me the car. It's not for sale. He basically said the exact same thing for about 5 minutes, until he walked off to his wife, who was just looking for a decent stove. We went about stacking shelves until he suddenly disappeared. I had my co-worker look around while I checked the cameras in the back next to the car. As soon as I got to the window, I saw this guy in the driver's seat, rapidly turning the key and messing with wires trying to turn the car on. I called both my co-workers. My second co-worker watched the store from the door as we walked over to Dave with our arms crossed. You're kidding me, right? This car is terrible. You can't sell it like this. This is horrible service. Is this guy serious? This car is not for sale, and the engine is currently suspended over your head. Dave looked up and saw a strange amalgamation of metals and plastics with stray splashes of paint and wires everywhere. I still don't know what its intent was, but it was the engine. He spluttered in anger, red like McQueen, and his wife stomped in and just glared at him. What are you doing? They are refusing to sell this car for our son. What? This is a piece of crap. Might sound rude, but I did nickname it Mr. Ugly, so I don't care. I can fix it up. No, we are getting him the Honda. End of story. I am getting this car, and none of you can stop me. Sir, you are trespassing and possibly damaging our property. Leave now, or I will call the police. He has 2 options. Forget the non-functioning, experimental, rusty, 3-wheeled joke of a car, or get arrested. He got arrested. Banned from the store and paying a fine. All of the money we got out of it was put into the car, of course. Thanks for the new bumper, pal. Couldn't have done it without you. That was so perfect. You know, he could have, forgot about the car, just moved on with his life, or get arrested. He got arrested. That time I mobilized a nationwide corporate chain to make my sales. So I thought I'd share this. It was maybe 10 years ago now, but I'm sure I'm still discussed to this day at this company thanks to this. This is a tale of auto parts and desperation. I took a job as a wholesale manager at a very prominent location at a national auto parts / tyres / repair chain. More than 200 repair shops / dealerships within delivery range of my store. Big problem. One of their largest competitors has a super hub location at a stone's throw away and has everything ever made in stock and loads of drivers to send it right out. They also were usually the cheapest available, so I was only able to field calls for higher quality OE grade parts, and the sales numbers were garbage. But how to compete? I tried making more outside sales calls, priced aggressively, kept delivery timely, no luck. Still couldn't compete. What to do? So the one area I was successful in was tyres. Their pricing was decent, and the brands were as well. And I got to know the owners of several tyre chains in the same area. Well, one day I get a call from a guy wanting a particular tyre, because he has a set of 3 and needs just one to make the set. I find the part number and plug it in, and my computer spits me out a list of a store that still has it. Closest one is more than a state away. Not worth it. But I see something interesting. There is a note on the part number. That was it's part of the master discontinuation list. What? I wonder, is that? So I start digging into the corporate network to find this list, and I find it. It has every part number of every discontinued tyre the chain still has in stock, and how many, ranging from thousands to one left nationwide. I also note that every part number I plug in comes up clearance. So the problem is this. The number in stock is spread out to stores all across the US. The hubs don't have it anymore, just individual stores with odd sets. I have to call every store and get them to store them to me. Can't do it. So the same day I get a call from one of the owners of a large tyre chain in the area, and I bring it up to him. I ask for his most popular sizes and brands he prefers, and I started my way through the list. I find dozens of part numbers that fit his criteria, but how can I get them? So a few days later, the regional wholesale manager comes in and I ask him a few questions. Number 1, how much can I sell these for, and is there a limit on store-to-store transfers? His answers: as low as the system will allow you is okay, and no limit, just how much time I want to spend. So I start digging in the corporate directory, call the head of the local distribution centre and find out who is in charge of shipping. I get him on the phone and ask my question. If I give you a part number, can you issue a recall on it and have them shipped to my store? What? I guess I can do that. Nothing prevents it. Just give me a list of all the numbers. And oh boy did I. Thousands of tyres began tricking from the stores into the local distribution centres, and then the massive snowballing chain began its westward journey to California. I sold hundreds of thousands of dollars of tyres to this guy. I had the poor delivery drivers packing their Ford Rangers full of nothing but tyres and going in and out round the clock for weeks. But alas, all good things must come to an end. Someone's word got back to those on high that the West Coast had lost its mind. A few days later, a few executives show up at the store demanding to know what the hell is going on. I was more than ready to back myself up with references from the regional manager and the shipping manager. They were furious. Whole trailers were slotted to no one but our store. It backed up delivery across the nation, but I had an iron shield to protect me. I asked, and I was told that I could. So I did. They spluttered for a while and told me never to do it again. The store saw the most record sales number in history. The general manager and the store manager took me out for ribs afterwards. Someone replied with, "I'm dying laughing right now, imagining the brotherhood of the misfit tyres making their pilgrimage to the newfound tyre mecca. And I just can't stop imagining all these tyres like going to one place, and it's great." Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. Like I said at the start, if you want to submit your own stories, then we actually have a new Discord which you can join in the top link in the description. You can also chat to people and just do whatever a Discord does. If you want to see some of our other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. But thanks again for watching and I will see you tomorrow.